listening to the Fun Never Ends podcast with Metalhead Nelson
and Brutal Brett. Hey, welcome to the Fun Never Ends podcast. I am Metalhead Nelson, and with me is Brutal Brett. How you doing, Brutal Brett?
I'm doing pretty well. How about yourself? It's been
doing pretty
good downtime.
Yeah, it has been busy, man. How about you?
I've been doing pretty well. There's been some ups and downs, but other than that, I'd say I'm enjoying the summer, and since the start of it.
That's good, man. I love the summer, but I don't know why. I feel like as I get older, I used to love the heat. I do. I really do, because I don't have to wear a fucking sweater, but now it's like sometimes as I get older, the heat becomes unbearable. I'm getting old.
I completely understand. I think it was you I mentioned to, where I said, are we conditioned to like summer because of the weather or because school is out usually, and we just have that mental connotation of summer equals good.
Yeah, I think that's the case, because I remember always looking forward to summer because school's out, you can do whatever the hell you want. But now you in the workforce, it's kind of like summer, time to take time off.
Now we look forward to winter when we really get to celebrate and we get to wear sweaters and everything else. I swear, the older we get, the more opposite we are from how we were as kids.
Funny you mentioned sweaters around holidays, because I went to Frankenson's and I've seen this, it's like a Ric Flair ugly Christmas sweater, and my brother-in-law's like, I'm gonna get you that ugly Christmas sweater so you can wear it to work.
Apical, do you think they let us wear the one from Die Hard?
I don't see why not.
The one that says, haha, I have a machine gun now?
You'd probably want to run it by the boss first.
Yeah, well, it's a Christmas movie, right? Would you say Die Hard's a Christmas? That's a question I ask everyone. There's three questions. One is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
And what's the other one?
Are hot dog sandwiches?
Yeah, I would think so. Do you think a hot dog is a sandwich? I fucking think so.
And are socks slippers?
No, they're slippery when you're on a hardwood or tile floor. But slippers? No, they're not slippers. They're slip-ons.
Fair enough. And is chili a soup or is it a dish of its own?
That's an interesting one. Well, you can have a bowl of chili, but that's a tough one. I would say it's a half and half, but it depends on the person, because the consistency is so thick. I would just call it sauce at that point. I would call it sauce. It's not a soup. Agree. It's sauce, man.
And it's not a meal zone.
No,
same with soup.
Because you don't have salsa, just like straight salsa. You have soup by itself. You don't have salsa, just like you can't chug salsa. But
well, that was my thing. Is soup a meal?
Soup? Okay, we're going Seinfeld on this, I feel like, because I remember an episode of Seinfeld where Banya gives Jerry a Armani suit, and he offers to buy him lunch. He orders the soup. He's like, I'll get the soup. I'll save the meal for next time. No, that's the meal. No, a soup is not a meal. So
I don't think it is.
It's not.
It's because it's often when you go to a deli, you get half a cup of soup and half a sandwich, right? That's a meal.
But if you get ramen or if you get pho, that's a meal.
Is that technically a soup, though?
It's a noodle soup.
See, when I ask these questions, people get pissed off at me because they're just like, why do you think of these things? Why are these things important to you? And I'm just like, well,
nobody really thinks about it.
Yeah, just like the hot dog sandwich or not. I'm not sure.
I would say they are a sandwich, but it's a quick, like, you can devour a hot dog within like 4 bites. Sandwich takes you a while, or depending on how big the hot dog is and how big of a bite you take, 2 bites and you're done.
I think these things plague me just because of ADHD, where I like, instead of thinking about things that actually matter, my brain is like, you must think of the things that you just have random attachment to.
See, these are the things that people don't really think about. There's questions like people don't really ask because it's not one of those things where you can really like think like you would come up with. I remember listening to George Carlin, and he has this whole thing where I think it was jamming in New York, like it's a little thing. You ever look at your watch and somebody asks you what time it is, and you look at your watch and somebody asks you and you still say, I don't know?
That's true.
Or you look at a chain link fence and it has that ability to go woo straight into your face. Or you fall asleep in the afternoon and you wake up, you don't know what damn day it is.
Well, here's my other question. What are your thoughts on people who ask you hypothetical situation questions? To me, they're so annoying. It's like, why am I spending so much time on a hypothetical?
Give me an example.
Okay, what would you do during a zombie apocalypse?
Get the fuck away.
Well, it's one of those things where it's just like, there's people who go on and on with like their answer, and I'm just like, why are you putting that much thought into something that is improbable in most cases?
Light a match, light a grenade, bye bye.
But so for you entertain it. Or for me, I'm just like, nah. When I was younger, I used to entertain hypothetical situations.
Yeah.
But now, I think when I'm older, like, I'm someone who's been on dating apps before. If someone asks me a hypothetical, I'm just like, what are you trying to get out of this? This doesn't help you get to understand someone's like thought process. It's just,
I think they want to see where you go with it.
But it doesn't give a thought process, because it's for a situation that may or may not happen, mostly improbable. Because do people really ask hypothetical situations that are more based in reality or fantasy?
Both. People have asked both. I'm pretty sure people have asked both.
All right, give me, what is a hypothetical situation in which that is based more in reality that someone has asked you?
Man, I don't remember. I'll let you know when I remember, because it's not going to sink in. I mean, if it's more fiction, yeah, it's easier. I mean, but honestly,
you're
sometimes the hypothetical questions are like, it gets your mind to jog. Sometimes you try to simplify things and you can't.
That's my point. Is it just a pastime to have a conversation, or is it like, is it a mental exercise that someone's giving? Are they like MK Ultraing us with hypothetical situations where it's like, he fucking knows too much, just take him out.
They knew too much. We know too much. They went too far. We went too far.
I mean, there has to be a reason. Like, hypothetical situations have gone in regards to like the dating app. They use these hypothetical situations as questions to break the ice in some aspect, and the types of responses that you'll see,
hypothetically speaking, of course.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, if you're given a fantastical question, can you respond with a nonsensical answer? Because what I've noticed, people want your answer to be based in logic for something that's not logical in that situation.
It's very unlogical.
That's my point. It's just like, okay, what would you do if you had $8 million, but there were aliens and JFK came back, and you were also friends with God, but zombies, and you have to kill one of your friends? It's just like, what?
You build a guitar that shoots fiber optics and other stuff.
Well, first of all, if God is my friend, why is the situation taking place?
I'd be playing Wipeout. Wipeout!
Well, I'd be shredding with Jeff Hanneman while zombies are headbanging, and I'd be getting a tattoo that says Cowabunga and high-fiving Super Mario. I wonder if they'll get Slayer to reunite for the whatever Chris it is that doing the Mario movie.
I don't know. Speaking of reunite, it looks like Phil Anselmo wants to reunite Pantera with Rex, but so far there's no talk of who will be in the place of Vinnie Paul or Dimebag. So
wasn't the last Slayer tour him doing Pantera songs with like filler people anyway?
Well, I think the last Pantera thing was pretty much just Phil Anselmo. It wasn't really You couldn't really call it Pantera. Can't call it Pantera without Dime and Vinny. I mean, the only logical person to fill the guitar part is probably Zakk Wylde.
Yeah.
Zakk Wylde.
Would it be worth seeing?
It wouldn't be the same, I would say. But for who would fill in for Vinnie Paul, that's a tough one.
I guess it's just one of those things where I like the songs, I hate the player at this point.
Yeah.
But it's like, I listen to Down as well. I shouldn't. Phil Anselmo sucks. He's pretty racist.
Honestly, he didn't. I don't think. No, he was on good terms with Dime and Vinny, because I remember when they were watching Behind the Music, he wasn't allowed to attend the funeral.
Sounds about right. Yeah. He was a jackass.
So he wasn't able to go and bury his brother. So they left on bad terms. Honestly, I wouldn't.
Or maybe he'll get Kirk from Crowbar to do guitar. That would be pretty filling.
That'd be interesting. Unless we'll have to wait and see how that actually pans out.
Yeah, then pretty much it'd be close to Down just playing Pantera songs.
Yeah, with Rex Brown on bass. And he just announced a new Thunderbird bass with Gibson.
Well, we can move on to my next thing. Do you feel that there is a resurgence of mainstream culture finding 80s metal?
No, and I tell you why. Well, kind of. You bring up a good point, because I feel like the whole Stranger Things.
There's another one. There's also a new Thor that's adding to it.
There's a new Thor adding to it.
The soundtrack.
I'd have to look at that. So it looks from, okay, anybody that's heard of the whole thing about the Metallica thing with Stranger Things on the fourth season, that who's playing Master of Puppets is Robert Trujillo's son, Ty Trujillo. So now it looks like everybody's going to be all Metallica'd up. Watch for those posts for those Master of Puppets.
Well, they did make a post about it. They said, "We welcome all new fans to the Metallica family, whether you found out about us now or back in the 80s.
Oh, yeah!
Give me food, give me fire, give me jumpers, yeah! Fuel is pumping engines, fill my heart with gasoline.
Oh, God. It's been a minute since I heard that song.
It's one of my go-tos for karaoke.
Good old Fuel.
Just because you could just sound anything close to it, and people would just be like, oh, yeah. You
Turn off, I see red.
Lightning bolt to my head.
Yeah.
When I burn.
Yeah.
You just sound like you're taking a big dump.
That's how Garth Brooks looks when he's singing. It looks like he has to take a Mapsh's shit.
Yeah.
In other music news, since we're on the subject of music, and we'll get back to your question, your whole thing real quick. Nita Strauss has announced her departure from the Alice Cooper band, and she had canceled all of her solo shows, but she's off to another venture. If you want to find out what she's up to, follow her on her Instagram or her Facebook, Nita Strauss. So now, returning to the Alice Cooper band, Kane Roberts, who was originally in the band from 85 to 88. He is returning for the fall and I believe the winter shows. So he's back and joining the band. That'll be go out, check out Alice Cooper on social media, and you can find out more about that. Ooh, also, AEW Dynamite. Tonight, new tag team champions. Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee are the new world tag team champions of AEW.
Hell yeah.
Titles changed hands. Triple threat rules. Hey, that's it.
I have one kind of departure music news. The 90s band Unwound are reuniting. They were kind of one of those like pseudo-alternative, noisy, jangly bands. Kind of perpendicular in sound to all those early Matador Records bands, Northwest type of grungy sound. It will be cool to see them, but I don't know if the room is just going to be filled with 50-year-olds who are wearing Pabst Blue Ribbon shirts or not.
Or they'll be selling Paps at the bar.
The crowds of these people are those who subscribe to Pitchfork magazine and just really are overly audiophiles lately.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Basically, do you know the music critic Anthony Fantano?
No, I do not.
I recommend you look up his stuff. He's, as the internet calls him, the world's busiest music nerd, but he has a pretty big stronghold on being a music critic. I was trying to find some other words for that, but...
yeah, it's tough to come up with those words, man.
When you do it all day, at the end of the day, you're just like, words hard. I draw a picture of things instead.
A picture says 1,000 words.
Exactly. They just give them pictures.
Just paint it. It's like, what does that look like? That's what I'm trying to say.
I see a picture and I want to paint it black.
Yeah, I see a red door too. Lot of things going on. A few things I have read not too long ago about some Starbucks locations in LA along with 7-Eleven. Some Starbucks locations are closing permanently due to crime, and there's a suspect along the move. Same goes with 7-Elevens are being advised to close earlier rather than being the whole 24-hour thing. So there's suspects still on the loose throughout LA, Riverside, Upland. So everybody out there, just steer clear and stay safe.
Where are people going to get their pink drink now?
It's like 6 locations in LA that are closing. It's only 6. 2 West Hollywood, a Santa Monica, 2 LA.
So bougie.
Yeah, the more bougier side. So...
yeah, the areas we don't go to.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Why?
I will say, there was a time, a month ago, I would go to, like, Beverly Hills, walk around, just people watch. The things you'll see and the things you'll overhear, enough to tell a story.
Yeah, I would imagine so. It's like people watching over there.
That's really it. It's one that I call it my day out, which is just because when I work from home, some days I'm just like, I'm just going someplace I normally wouldn't be, just to do something.
Yeah, I get you. Just like to get out.
Yeah, Jordan Peele, here I come.
Yeah. Other news, a band by the name of Thrown to Exile. They'll be on the bill with At the Gates with, I believe... Municipal Waste. My friend Edwin is the new frontman for Thrown to Exile. You can catch them in Pomona at their next show. He's on the road. Congratulations to my buddy Edwin. Follow him on Instagram at the Hangry Armenian, or it'll say like metal singer, but you can go to Throne to Exile and you can find him through there. But congratulations, my friend.
Seriously, that one for band is great. Two, being on the road and listening to Slaughter of the Soul for however many weeks on it, that alone is one of the greatest things to be able to do.
Yeah, he subbed for that band a few times, and now he's the permanent singer.
That's where we're at.
Yeah.
That band ripped.
Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, I've hung out with Edwin numerous times. Remember when he was back in the day when he was in other bands that he had. So it was come a long way.
I need to get my ticket to that. I love that album.
Yeah, that'd be at the Glass House in Pomona. I believe it's on a Thursday.
I hope LA is a day after, before weekend.
Let's see, because I don't know when exactly the LA date is.
Neither do I. It's one of those things where I took a screenshot of it and I was just like, yeah, whatever.
There is another tour coming. The Monomarth would be one, and that
with Obituary.
Oh yeah,
and Carcass.
There you go.
And In Flames. No,
Cattle. Cattle.
Yeah,
Cattle. And the last
and In Flames.
The LA date is December 17th.
That's 2 days before my birthday.
Yeah, birthday show for you.
Oh, are you kidding? That tour is just like, hey, this is all killer, no filler.
So let's see where the date is. The LA date.
Slaughter of the Soul.
Why is it looking like this? Oh.
I just love seeing them play that song for when Thomas, the vocalist, goes, go! And then it picks up.
So you say go and it goes?
They go.
Okay, so yeah, the LA date is at the Fonda Theater, Wednesday, August 17th.
Ah, damn it, the day before.
The Glass House is Thursday, the 18th, and then they're playing Berkeley on the 19th. So those are the dates for At the Gates.
I would probably do the LA one just because it's easier.
So, yeah.
But I do love that album. Is that an album that got much spinning from you?
No, I haven't digged in much of At the Gates, but just here and there. I haven't really dug into their catalog.
I would compare sound to Heartwork era Carcass, but more melodic.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check them out.
100% recommend. But that Amonomarth word.
It was badass. I remember the time I saw Obituary. They opened for Cannibal Corpse at the Observatory. That was a bitchin' show. Being up top and looking over the stage and seeing that pit go. Oh, man. That is freaking badass.
Man, last time I saw Cannibal Corpse was with Morbid Angel and Blood Incantation, that Decibel tour.
Where was that show at?
For me, that's when I was in San Diego. So I saw it at the North Park Observatory.
Oh, okay. The other observatory.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, there's a lot of other tours going on. A lot of shows, stuff like that. It's more so than I can even keep track with these days.
I need to stop being into so much music because there's so many acts I want to see and so many festivals getting it now. So I'm just like, do I go to all and blow all my money that I have extra on that? Or do I just say, you know what, I'll just listen to it. I don't need to see it.
You can always find it online. Somebody's bound to post clips about it. I think the more logical, of course, quote unquote logical one would be to go to the one that you really want to, and then all the other ones wait for other people to post.
See, that's the thing. There's one act I really want to see whom I listen to mainly just when I'm working because the genre is one called hyperpop, in which, do you know much about the genre?
No, I don't.
I'm trying to find a way to I'm gonna Google if there's a definition of what I can say hyperpop is, because I want to do it justice in a microgenre characterized by maximalist or exaggerated take on popular music. It integrates pop and avant-garde sensibilities, drawing on tropes from electronic, hip-hop, and dance music. So this act is called Drain Gang, in which they're more aligned on the hip hop element, but it's one of those, oh, I like this as a guilty pleasure, but it grew. But they're playing the Primavera Sound Festival in LA. One day is $100.
One day's $100
because it has Nine Inch Nails and a bunch of other acts like that.
Oh man, that's a wild one. I'll say.
Yeah, I'm just like, do I really want to do that? I'd see Nine Inch Nails and a few or a bunch of other bands on it, but
I don't know. It seems like it's not. I don't know. It seems
the
not
thing is, this group is from Sweden as well.
That would make sense because they're Swedish, and you don't really get to see them.
Yeah, and when they do a tour here, it sells out instantly.
Oh, I believe it. So, hey, other news. Everybody knows about the Anime Expo that always happens 4th of July weekend at the LA Convention Center, but this year is a little different. They just finished in LA. They're coming to Ontario, California for 2 days in November. It's the 12th and the 13th. They haven't announced it. Tickets haven't gone on sale yet, but there's a good feeling that is going to sell out in a snap because of how many people would want to go to it, and Ontario Convention Center. I don't know if that's going to be very big, but it doesn't seem like it.
My thing, did you know how much they were charging for parking for that in LA?
Probably an arm and a leg. It's better to take the metro at that point.
Do you want the number that I saw on some sign from Instagram?
100?
Yeah.
That's a given because I remember going to NAMM shows, and if you're parking closer, like at the Hilton lot, it's almost about anywhere from $100 to $100 or somewhere around there. So yeah, they're price gouging because they know they're going to make money off of it, and everybody's going to be there. So yeah, why not? That's how they make their money.
I'm surprised they should be as big or bigger than Comic-Con now.
Well, I feel like the biggest one, of course, is San Diego Comic-Con. And that's in 2 weeks. So that one I haven't gone to, and I've heard that one is a pain in the ass to try to get tickets for because you got to go into the lottery in the waiting room, and you got to get picked.
I got lucky 2 years because of my ex.
Oh, wow.
She worked at Verona Casino, and she won 2 tickets from coworkers.
Oh, wow.
For being a pretty girl, pretty much. She got in a lottery at her work and won, and it was rigged for that reason, but whatever. That's another story. So I went 2 years, and I gotta say, she went more for like the cosplay and all that, and I was just like, yo, I want to go to panels, I want to hit the floor, I want to see everything on Spawn, because they're supposed to make a new Spawn.
I gotta see how that's gonna pan out.
That's how I was.
Because the Spawn movie that came out, I enjoyed it. I don't know about you, but I enjoyed it.
I love it.
Along with Mortal Kombat. I love the Mortal Kombat. Annihilation as well. It was good. They did a real good job. But the one character switch, I don't think anybody really paid attention to. 2 different Raidens in 2 movies.
Yeah.
So
did you watch the Spawn HBO series back in the day?
Not that I recall. I remember watching the movie, but I never watched the series.
It was a very dark cartoon that HBO did in late 90s or early 2000s. Amazing. If you like the movie, this cartoon series, it's definitely not your typical kid cartoon. It's a very well done, great storytelling. Highly recommended.
Yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I mean, come on, Spawn.
Thank you.
It's Spawn. It's unexpected that it wouldn't be like a kid one, like kind of like Spider-Man. It's like Spawn's like if you get like a darker version of Venom.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can see like Spawn having like a very like death metal, kind of dark, black metal kind of theme to it because how dark it is.
Well, you know who was on the soundtrack for the movie, right?
I don't.
It has like Typo Negative. It has
that makes sense.
Metallica. Let's see, because
I'm on the prowl for it too. Spawn.
Marilyn Manson. Korn. Stabbing Westward. Prodigy. Silverchair. Because I know it's coveted, just like the Crow soundtrack is.
Yeah. Huh. Incubus? Interesting.
Butthole Surfers and Moby. Metallica.
How do you get Moby in there?
It's a bunch of weird collaborations, like Slayer and Atari Teenage Riot.
Oh my god, check this out. Amazon, somebody's selling the audio CD for $100.
Don't do that. You could get it for
I know.
$1.
I'm looking, and I'm like one left in stock, and it's $100. I ain't gonna spend no $100 on no soundtrack. Henry Rollins. Oh, Slayer.
It's Slayer with Atari Teenage Riot.
Yeah. Metallica. Metallica, yeah.
So you are right in the sense. I wish it was more black metal, but that's as good as we get.
Yeah. So let's see how it plays out this time on the newer version of that. So we'll see. Who
They
knows?
just get Dark Throne, Mayhem,
But what if they don't go that route? They get some other bullshit.
Code Orange.
Who knows? Could be worse, to be honest with you.
Probably some like Bring Me the Horizon type thing at this point. Which no disrespect to them. I'm a big fan of that band Transition.
Or Bullet.
Bullet for My Valentine.
Yeah.
That transition is...
Yeah. No can do.
I'm in for the commercial leaning sound that bands can take when it is for a reason like, oh, we used to do, gimmicky music and now we're being more serious. But when it's just, oh yeah, we just want to sound like Five Finger Death Punch.
I do want to see Five Finger Death Punch. I'm not going to lie to you.
Teach their own, not my thing.
I forget.
Is it just for the experience or are you a fan?
Well, have you ever watched the film called Hired Gun?
Yes.
It was a documentary. So, I got to go to the pre-party that was over at, it was called Soundcheck Live. It was the pre-party for Hired Gun over at, Lucky Strike on Hollywood and Highland. Mm-hmm. And that was cool because they had just about all the players from that one, except minus like Eric Singer and a couple other people. But yeah, they had the pre-party and I have the photos that I took that night with my Canon, and I really like Jason Hook, and I think he's a good guitar player.
I'll say, riff-wise and music-wise, yes. Lyric-wise and vocal-wise, that's where I fall off.
The only reason I really want to go is because Jason Hook is a good guitar player.
As I said, riff-wise, band solid.
Yeah.
Vocals and lyrics, nah.
If anybody hasn't had the chance to check out the documentary, Hired Gun, I highly recommend it if you love music, because these are like A-list guitar, like musicians that get hired from like any kind of band that would jump on like to anyone. So A-list players that you didn't know that played on this certain track, and you're like, who the fuck played on it? Oh, wow.
I love seeing that when it's just like, wait, this person is like in a black metal band, but they're credited on a pop song.
Exactly. Who would have thought that Jason Hook, who's in Five Finger Death Punch, used to be a touring member for Hillary Duff?
I love stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like, well, a gig's a gig, to be honest with you. If you got a gig, you're good.
Well, I will say there is one celebrity who is in the news often who's a huge metalhead.
Who would be?
Demi Lovato.
Funny you mentioned that. There is a rumor, I don't know, I think it was Blabbermouth that said there was a rumor that Nita Strauss would go on to be Demi Lovato's guitar player, but that's rumored.
It makes sense. Their favorite band, one of them is Job for a Cowboy, Dimmu Borgir on Earth. They have a picture with Turnstile recently, so their music taste is very different than the music that they create.
I feel like they create that music and then later on turn it like, okay, let's play what we want and try to get the crowd into that.
That's true. I mean, their new song is a lot like that classic Hole song.
I never heard, I only heard maybe one or two Demi Lovato songs. Granted, I was in a pop rock class when I was still going to community college. Did cover one. I forget the name of the song. It is one of her hits.
Hot for the Summer, that was one of the huge ones.
No, that wasn't the one.
That's mainly it. I just know that and the new song because it sounds like Hole. And as much shit that Courtney Love yet, Hole is a great band.
Let me see. Now it's gonna bug me until I figure out what the hell it's called. Give Your Heart a Break. That's what it was.
That is a great summer anthem.
So that's what it was.
Well, I guess it's just when you're in that powerhouse of Disney for the longest time, you just get told to make pop music and you can't be who you want.
Absolutely. Because you have the label's not going to want you to do that.
And it's funny hearing all these Disney stars whenever they're on podcasts are just like, oh yeah, fuck Disney, and them cursing a storm and being like, oh yeah, I was on crazy drugs during that time, or we would sneak off set and just get really high off coke, and it's just like, what?
It's like you never expect that, and then whoa.
I've come to realize reality is darker than we put filters on.
Oh, yeah, because there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes with, there's the pun, behind the scenes, but nobody's going to know about that until people really put it out there, or somebody got caught with something and it ends up on the news.
This is why I listen to and why we do podcasts, for that real slice of life moments.
So, yeah, that's...
Pull back the flesh.
What kind of wounds you got back there, man?
The real blood. Give me the blood, man.
Yeah, it's raining blood. So let's go off the topic and let's talk about movies. Let's talk about your favorite comedy movies. 5 of them.
Grandma's Boy?
Oh, I love Grandma's Boy. I turn around and there's the fucking King of the Jungle.
Dude, you came on my mom.
Oh my god, that is a fucking great movie.
Your car's a bed. Yeah, but it's a friggin' sweet one.
My grandma drank all my pot.
Screw you, losers.
Adios, turd nuggets. Did you say something? You're fucking weird. How did he see me? I hate your face.
My thing is, it always changes, because does Evil Dead count as a comedy or a horror movie?
Maybe a little bit of both.
Because that's my favorite movie of all time.
I haven't seen it, to be honest with you.
Oh, I recommend it.
I'll have to check it out.
Well, I consider horror movies to be comedy because it's not horror.
No, because if you look at a lot of the 80s, the cheesy comedy, the cheesy horror movies, they're like comedies pretty much.
Oh, hilarious. I love B-rated and foreign movies for that reason, because they just play into the campiness.
Exactly. Especially like Epics or Fury.net, they'll show like these cheesy 80s horror movies come time of Halloween. I fucking love it.
There's one on Amazon now called The Stuff, which is about people who eat like marshmallow type stuff, and it like controls them.
What? Oh my god.
It's from the 80s. It's so good.
Dude, I'll have to check that out.
Alright, what is one of your favorite comedies though?
Grandma's Boy has to be one of them. Dumb and Dumber has to be another one. I love Dumb and Dumber.
Classic.
Oh yeah. Man.
Billy Madison.
Oh, love Billy Madison. My favorite Sandler movie, it has to be Happy Home.
That's the thing. It's just like, okay, when you get into Sandler territory, does it really count? Because it's just like, those are iconic institutions of our childhood.
They're great films. You can't really...
Should we say Step Brothers?
Oh, yeah. I love
Superbad.
Superbad was good. I liked it, but it's not one that I can go back and really watch it over and over. It was good like the first 2 times, kind of like, excuse me, I love Pineapple Express and I love The Interview, but I can't go back and watch it again.
I think it's just because it has a stronghold on culture, because that's the thing that I always try to question is, do I like it because it moved me, or is it because it had such an impact on culture surrounding it?
Yeah, I get you. There's certain movies I can only watch like once, and if I go back and watch it again, it's not as funny as I thought it was. Wayne's World is another one that's good for me. Along with Bill and Ted. It's an excellent adventure.
Yep.
Man. Basketball. I love Basketball.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah, that's a good one. What else?
So many people don't know that one.
That's a classic, and if you're a fan of South Park and Matt Stone and Trey Parker, they fucking kill it in that movie. If you want to see another Trey Parker, Matt Stone movie, check out Orgasmo. That's another one.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, any Mel Brooks movie.
Spaceballs, Men in Tights. I'm on the East Bank, I'm on the West Bank.
History of the World Part 1.
I've got the 15-10 commandments.
The Inquisition. What do you say? The Inquisition.
Oh my god. Good films.
I guess Blazing Saddles, obviously, that is up there.
Oh yeah.
Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein was great.
Look at those knockers. Why, thank you, doctor.
There's a lot of... I love comedies. As much as I like action, more comedies than anything. Like Blue Streak. I love Blue Streak, because that's one of those that I really enjoy. I Love You Man was one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, that's a great one too.
Beer Fest. Beer Fest was a good one. Along with Super Troopers.
Dodgeball.
Yeah, anything Broken Lizard. I mean, those two were the main Broken Lizard films that were good. I mean, I've seen like other ones, but it didn't really catch my... They were more IFC films that didn't really hit, but you have to really dig into it.
I think that the older that I get, the more I'm into obscure comedy, though, where I'm like, I want to see someone do comedy, but in a crazy take. So I really love like Eric Andre, Tim Robinson, who does the show I Think You Should Leave on Netflix. Recommend recommend it.
I'll have to check it out.
It became viral because they have like certain skits, like one in which he makes a show called Coffin Flop.
Oh, wow.
Which is just people's bodies falling out of the coffin and people like taking quote unquote like raw footage from it.
My God, dude. That's freaking awesome. I'd have to check that out.
And it's just him yelling, "They're trying to take Corncob TV off of cable. Where else are you going to see shows like Coffin Flop?" And it's just a montage of Coffin Flop.
Oh,
and they're
man.
like, "This cable company wants to get rid of it. What are you going to do? What else are you going to do with TV like this?"
Good shit.
And then...
I was going to say, going off that subject, are you big on Impractical Jokers?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Whose line is it anyway?
Oh, come on. I love improv because it's just, you have to be quick with it.
Oh, yeah. I love improv comedy, man. Whose Line I used to watch religiously, like just reruns after reruns. ABC Family when they had it. Hell, I even bought like a DVD of like I think it was like 6 episodes on there. Too Hot for TV, that's what it was.
Oh yeah, because ABC Family has had those religious highs where it would be like Seventh Heaven and the S Club.
But it's ABC. It's ABC.
Now it's
Freeform. Yeah, Freeform.
Still one of the best channels for Halloween and Christmas.
Oh yeah, you get so many different stuff on there.
Oh, they have the 31 days of Halloween.
Yeah, they do. And Disney has their 25, but anything you can find on the Disney Plus app anyway.
I was going to say another Tim Robinson sketch, though, is about what people do when a work gives them a stipend for a travel trip.
Tell me.
So in this case, it's just like there's a guy like looking slunched over in a meeting, and it's just like, "Are you okay?" And then this old guy says, "He hasn't been eating. He's using the money to buy fancy shirts." And then Tim Robinson perks up his lips like, "Shut up, Jeff. Yeah, I may be using the stipend that you give me for food and for the hotel to buy shirts. But look at this shirt. Look at this pattern. I found in a store called Dan Flash's where all the guys in there look like me. Have you ever seen a shirt with so many patterns?" And then it's just it gets more absurd. It's one of those things where I'm a man right now trying to talk about a visual format. More or less. Hey,
yes. Since we're on the subject of that, hey, Darby Allin has his Hoodlum brand over at Zoomies now. Check out all your Zoomies stores for Darby Allin's clothing brand Hoodlum.
I'm Googling this. I need to see if it's because Zoomies is give or take.
Yeah. So he was doing a meet and greet at a Zoomies store and some other. I think. Oh, it was in Washington. That was like
I know
4
this
days
story.
ago. So yeah.
And someone came up to him at that signing, didn't they?
I don't know what happened.
Would you like me to?
Yeah, enlighten me.
So his friend Brody King came and smashed him through a table.
Wow. This I gotta see because
I'm not sure what state it was in because I think Brody was in Philadelphia over this weekend for This Is Hardcore Fest. He's a big Hatebreed fan.
Yeah, that's right. And then Brody King, of course, he didn't beat John Moxley. I had a feeling that wasn't going to end like that. So.
As much as he's a giant, he doesn't have that tactical nature.
Yeah, I get you.
But also, that's if you want to talk about fighting from a, it's not rigged standpoint.
It's not rigged.
It's real to me, damn it.
It is real. Yeah, I think the video is on his Instagram. I'm looking at it right now. Oh yeah, he just came in. He slugged him in the face because he was talking about his skateboard. Some guy came up. He just tossed him to the merch table, flipped over his merch table, and pick him up. Oh, he just shoved him to the side. Now Brody King is just having his way with Darby. Picks him up by the neck. Oh no, he puts him in a sleeper first. I have to keep watching to see what the hell's going on. Yeah, I have to watch that all over again. But yeah, Darby Allin on your Instagram. Go and check it out. It's the second video or second post for that matter.
I love his walk-in music.
Oh yeah, that walk-in music's great, especially when
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think it's Wikiface Rings Eternal still. Let's see.
Probably. I do have 2 figures from AEW. It's a Darby Allin with the TNT title and then Sting. So those ones I had to get my hands on over at Frank & Sons.
I'm trying to see. Yeah, it is. It's Wikiface Rings Eternal.
Right on. All right. Well, we're gonna about wrap this up. You got anything else you'd like to say, Brutal Brett?
listen to Drain Gang, check out Blade, listen to the song Be Nice to Me, and it's terrible in the best way.
All right. Thank you, Brutal Brett, for that. All right. Thank you all for tuning in and listening, subscribing to Fun Never Ends Podcast on wherever you listen to your podcast. Share it with your friends and all that fun stuff. Check us out on funneverendspodcast.com. Find everything through there. Go through our social media. I believe it's all linked through there. Our Instagram hasn't been really ran much, but more so go to the website. That'll be easier for everybody. If you want to listen on there, go ahead. So, all right, for myself and Brutal Brett, we'll catch you next time. This has been Fun Never Ends Podcast. We'll see you later. Bye.